is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our weekly podcast. We are Bang Practice. I'm Josh. That's Jacob. Andrew is down there. I'm so excited for today's episode. I can't wait to get into it. But before we
Yes.
get to
Yes.
the actual podcast, I have a question for you guys. What is your go-to gas station food grab? What if you're on the road trip? I'll even count the airport. You're at the airport, Jacob. You have recent experience as of 3 hours ago. What are you grabbing as a snack out of that gas station? Drinks, food, something else?
So I was gonna say, you got straight into the question. We're recording here. This is almost 10 o'clock Eastern time. And I was on a flight today. We're exhausted, but we're still here. We're dedicated to recording to the podcast. And I got right next to me in my bag that I had on the airplane, Swedish fish.
Ooh.
So that was my go-to for today. So shout out the Swedish fish. Better than the Shat gummies that we had so many episodes ago. Swedish fish, top tier.
Fair.
If we're going to a gas station, this is gonna sound insane. I don't know why my brain works like this. I'm getting something salty. If I'm at an airport going on a flight, I'm getting candy.
That, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure. I can get
Mm-hmm.
behind that.
Mm-hmm. Why? Don't ask me why. I don't know. That's
I
my
like that.
go-to.
I
Swedish
like
fish,
that.
Sour Patch Kids. I'll never eat candy like other than outside of an airport.
Oh,
Or in
wow.
it, sorry, I will rarely eat candy unless I'm in an airport, like going on a flight, I guess, is where my relationship with candy has found itself at the ripe age of 28. Yeah,
Wow.
like if I'm eating something sweet, I'm just never eating something sweet. I'm a
Okay,
salty
wait.
guy, but in the
Let me ask you
airport,
that.
I'm eating candy.
So then what do you pair it with when you're on the plane and they come around and ask you what beverage do you want? Because
Ooh.
I like to indulge usually in a sweeter beverage when I'm on an airplane. Like I don't do
Mm-hmm.
diet. I'll get regular. I'll get
Mm-hmm.
that sugar, baby. Stew with your Swedish fish. Do you go just double sugar or do you go opt for something different?
Today's flight was a good old bottle
Oh,
of water.
water.
In
Okay.
fact, I bought this on the way there and kept it with me the entire time, brought it with me back. So I only bought one plastic bottle to all my environmentally friendly people out there. One plastic bottle. I still got it with me. Went through security and I'm still using it right now. They did come around and I will say that I was like, I could use a little bit of caffeine right now. My go-to airplane soda is Coke Zero because they always
Oh.
have Coke Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it tastes way better than Diet Coke.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, double sugar, that'd be too much. That'd be too much.
Mm.
If I didn't have any candy, I'd get a ginger ale
Yeah.
Oh,
or a little
okay.
sweet, a little
Yeah.
something sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
What
Hmm
are you getting a drink at the gas station with your salty?
At the gas stations, probably either a water or a soda. We already went through the Diet Mountain Dew rant a few weeks ago.
All right.
Yeah.
Andrew, what are you
I
getting?
mean, it's gotta be nacho cheese. No, no, no. I'm not that much.
Oh
I'm
Just
not that
no,
crazy.
no,
a
no,
bowl of
no.
nacho cheese.
I
Gas
recently found
stations,
my.
sometimes gas stations have that, you know?
It's
They
true.
do. They do.
It's
It's
true.
actually one of the few places that does.
Yeah.
It's say what you want. You can fuel your body and fuel your car. But myself, actually having been recently in this position on a road trip, I discovered that there are different flavor. I'm aware that there are variations of Chex Mix, but
Mm.
I'm gonna call me ignorant. I did not know Chex Mix had upped its game so much. I loaded up on some pizza and some dill pickle Chex
Mm.
Mix on my
Ooh.
latest road trip, and they are fantastic. I normally would have gone with like the hot or the original, but I saw those and I was like, I gotta get those. So I do go salty. I don't put nacho cheese on it. But yeah, Chex Mix, one of the go-tos.
I like it. You getting a drink? That you
You
getting
know,
your Mountain Dew?
to be honest, It's usually, yeah, if it's like in the afternoon, I'll usually get a coffee. But if not, I'll get a sparkling water. That's my favorite.
Okay. Very
Sorry,
good.
lighting got a little weird over here, but we're back.
Jacob,
Josh,
Jacob,
you were on a long road trip. Did you
I
stop at
was.
many gas stations?
We did many a gas stations. We actually pre-loaded up on snacks, um, because gas station snacks are kind of expensive.
That's
Oh
Um,
better.
yeah.
but so we brought my one of my favorite like car snacks is a big box of colored goldfish.
Mm.
That's probably my number one like car snack. But if we're talking gas station, Jacob, cover your ears. I'm
Combos, bros,
I'm
about to say
going nacho cheese
combos.
combos.
Gross, the worst
Yes.
snack ever
No.
invented.
So
Combos are
No,
good.
great.
So good. I might even dip them in nacho cheese.
Yes. Yes. Okay, we got
Think
to
about it.
no,
do
Think
nacho
about
cheese
it.
combos
no.
in nacho cheese. We
Think
need
about
it. We
it.
need
It
it.
would actually be really good.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Um,
Get some tenders too.
yeah, absolutely. But I guess I'm a degenerate because I'll get something salty and something sweet. So like I would go for
Mm.
combos and then like Swedish Fish, Sour Patch Kids, or a new favorite, Nerds Gummy Clusters.
Mmm,
Do you
those nerds are
alternate?
legit.
Do you
Yeah.
alternate handfuls or do you
No, no,
mix
no, no.
bites? Are you that
You
crazy?
always go salty first. It's like eating your entree before you have dessert. You go salty and then sweet.
This one's a
So they're
damn
never
ball.
in your mouth at the same time.
Never in my mouth at the same time. I'm
There we
not
go.
dipping my Sour Patch Kids in nacho cheese.
I would draw the line there. That's pretty crazy.
I'm glad that you found a place to draw the line somewhere.
The line exists. It exists.
Somewhere.
I mean, my girlfriend had peanut M&Ms and regular Chex Mix, but I feel like if you put peanut M&Ms in regular Chex Mix, that would
It's like
still
a
like kind of work.
That's
it's like
like trail
trail
mix.
mix.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like
Yeah.
trail mix. It
yeah.
It's
comes
actually a
trail
great
mix.
combo.
And now
Yeah,
that you mention it, I think we still have both of them left. I only got three
that's pretty
Swedish fish.
elite.
I'm eating these Swedish fish during the podcast to get that gross taste of combos out of my mouth, and I don't even have any combos with me. Mm. Ooh,
Unreal.
ooh, unreal,
Combos.
unreal.
Combos is gonna sponsor
You know
us.
what was unreal? The way your Milwaukee Brewers have lost the past 2 days. That's why we're repping, although they lost today. Chicago White Sox, baby. 2-1 against the Red Sox. Andrew, what are you wearing down there?
It's
White
got a
Sox
hood.
jersey
It's got
from
a hood.
1918? The Black Sox
Seriously.
scandal?
Are you
Yeah.
Shoeless Joe?
I did play some bets on the game yesterday. Uh, I was not involved in the game, but
No,
your boy,
no.
Sure.
your boy was
Mhm.
was on a hot streak. I got Luis Robert home run, first of the season. That was pretty sweet. Sox were fun. Go to Guaranteed Rate Stadium. I don't think we've covered it yet on our ballpark of the week, but it's a few years younger than Miller Park, but it feels like it's built in that same era. It doesn't
Mhm.
quite have the same characteristics that I think some of the kind of early 2000s ballparks have, but the amenities and the food are unreal. You can get elote, you can get any kind of beer you want. They always are coming out with new shakes. They had this like I think it was a birthday cake flavored one with like an actual piece of cake in it. So Sox like the team might not be worth going to the game for, but the food certainly is. And they do some sick giveaways like this. I got this for free with my ticket yesterday. Sat right on the third base line. It was a fantastic afternoon. And I couldn't just say go Sox. You have to say go White Sox since
Right.
they're playing the other sock,
Ooh.
the one with the hole in it.
Yeah. But you did, on the other sock side of things, get to see your SoRare team play. How was
They
that?
choked. They choked. But I will say, no matter the outcome obviously is important, but watching your SoRare players in real life is one of the coolest experiences. Whether it's basketball, baseball, football, if you've never done it, it is amazing. And I've even done decisions that are not in my gallery's best interest. Like I've started people that I should not be starting just because I'm going to go see them in real life. But it's worth it. If they get a hit, it like that 3 points just feels even better when you see it in real life. And then the stealing the stolen base is just it's so fun. But yeah, my Sox stack crumbled against the White Sox. Their announcer jinxed it. I don't know if you
Hmm.
guys saw this on the broadcast on leading into the series. They said, "Ooh, we're going to Chicago over the weekend. This is what the boys need." Turns out it's not what the boys needed.
No, it was not
Brutal.
at all. Losing 2 of 3. Garrett Crochet looked great though.
He did.
Too bad that's not who your starting pitcher was on that rare team.
And Eric
Or
Freddie had a great
Eric
start
Fetty for
too.
your
No hitter, a no hitter
the White
against the Reds,
the
I
Reds.
think. Yeah.
Cardinals looking good. So rare, looking good. Well, you're probably questioning, what's today's episode even about? Well, thankfully, it's not about where you should or shouldn't dip your chicken in, but rather, we've been playing SoRare MLB for about 3 weeks now. I mean, the SoRare or the MLB season and the SoRare season have been going on for about 3 weeks now. And we're just going to check on in and see how things have been going. How have we been enjoying things? Anything that we think could use an improvement, so on and so forth. We've done it before last year, and we're back to do it again here for 2025. And I mean, should we start it off? How we
You
feeling
gotta
about
brag.
Essence?
Or
No,
or
no,
you gotta
no.
brag.
I have built up in my so rare gallery 1,000 common essence
Oh, common.
and
Wow.
sorry, 1,000 limited essence.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Yeah, common essence. I would have spent that on Otani years ago. Um So we're going to go ahead to start it off by crafting a card here. By the way, if you're entered in our Zach Wheeler giveaway, that'll be coming out. You will have already known by the time this episode came out. So you know what? Don't worry about that comment. We're going to get right into it. Yeah, but I earned some essence through purchasing cards to start the season off, and then I earned a lot of essence by finishing second. Second. Holy second place
Insane.
in a
Podium.
so rare competition already
Podium.
Podium.
is like the
Silver,
third
silver
game week of
medal.
the season. What are we
Yeah.
doing here? I
Silver
wasn't
medal.
expecting it. I wasn't even chasing anything. I went to bed,
Oh,
sure, ready to wake up to some rewards. Let's be honest. I got some good teams in so rare. I expect to win like a little bit of something on a week to week basis, even if we're just talking essence here. But not only did I get essence, I got myself a star tier. Fernando Tatis Jr. If you missed it in the YouTube or
MVP.
Instagram short earlier on this week, yeah, that was great. But I got all this essence stored up and I could have used it to unlock a player to play for this weekend game week, but instead I saved it until we recorded for right now for the
Content
content.
yeah.
for the
For the
content.
content. So let's go ahead. I'm going to turn on Do Not Disturb on my computer because this group text is going off. All
All right,
right.
Josh, we should let's try to
And let's
predict
share
the
the screen.
team. Let's try to guess. We'll do almost like a pickle in our own way. Uh,
Ooh,
let's see if we can try to guess who Jacob's going to get. I mean, again, it could be any single player.
it could be anybody. I
Any.
think it's gonna be better than a tier 5.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah, or yeah. Let's start with tier. What tier are you
I think
feeling?
it's gonna be a tier 3.
Okay.
That's my
Three.
guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Trevor Story. I
I'd
feel
be
like
okay
Trevor
with that.
Story
I
would
need a
That would
break
middle
through pretty.
be
infielder. I
that would
got
be a
Salvi Perez.
very
I got my Salvi Perez that I won last week, but we all know how we feel about catchers on this podcast. I need my middle infielder. So I'd
that'd
be
be a
okay with that.
very full circle moment on this podcast if this
We
goes
we
Trevor's
need
story.
Trevor. That would be a heck of a story. A
I'm
Hmm.
gonna
scoop.
go. I don't know if he's a tier 3 or not. Probably not actually. I'm gonna go Chris Bryant.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
interesting. Interesting players here. Well, I mean, if I guess if we're predicting, let's go. You know who I'm feeling?
Who's gonna show up?
You know,
Go big. Shohei Otani.
no,
Yeah,
I already
manifest
own
it.
him. But to
What?
spite Andrew,
Oh,
Tatis?
I'm gonna get another Jake Burger.
Oh,
Another Jake Burger.
oh. Do you know how many Jake Berger jerseys I saw on Saturday?
Yeah.
So many, so
Yes.
many.
White
They're
Sox
just sad he's
legend.
gone. Sad
I
he's
know.
gone.
I am too.
Gone but never
I
forgotten.
am too. All right, let's get
They're
this going. Let's get this
he,
going.
he probably was tied for like number one jersey, honestly, between him and Moncada, were like the two
Mm-hmm.
most common jerseys.
Yohan Moncada. Wow.
They
How
hate
about that?
Lubob down there.
Not even a Luba. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crochet.
yeah. Some
Any
some
White Sox
some
crochet jerseys?
not too many. I
Okay.
went on Saturday, so
Any
maybe if
Cubs
maybe
jerseys?
Ooh.
we saw one Cubs fan. Yeah,
Just one.
he
Any
should go
Tim
back.
They
Anderson
always sneak into the
jerseys?
White Sox games somehow.
I think there are a couple Tim Anderson jerseys. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
baby.
legend.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
but which was really sick. Actually, you guys would like the story. Scott Pasednik, actual
Ooh,
legend, threw out the first pitch, which
Brewers
was
and White
pretty.
Sox legend.
that's
Yeah,
sweet.
that was a great
Mhm.
shout for him.
Love
He's
it.
looking good too.
Good.
Um,
Probably could still play.
he could be a starter.
For the White Sox at least.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, let's get it.
See
Otani.
it.
1,153 essence here.
Otani.
Otani.
And all right, let's
Okay,
see
this is
Japan.
actually gonna be
Let's see
interesting. I
Japan.
wonder. Okay, so it only used 1,000.
Use a
I was
Pumping.
thousand.
curious if it would
Oh, if
use
it used
all
it
of it.
all.
If
Come
like you get
on, Japan. Serial number eight's
eight.
good.
Oh my
That's
God,
good.
dude.
Australia.
Australia?
Australia? Second base.
Who?
Rays? It's got to be rookie then, right? A new face.
Oh,
Curtis Mead
Curtis Mead.
is
interesting.
Australian?
I had
Wow.
no idea.
Wait,
He
actually?
is?
I didn't
I
know
this is
that.
kind of fun. So this is full circle. I saw him play a lot here in Charlotte. I went to
Oh,
a couple of games where they were playing his minor league team. I thought that 8 serial number was going to be something good, to be
dude.
honest. But
I
there you
mean,
have
Curtis
it.
it's a
Mead
Curtis
low
Mead. I
low
don't
has
think
serial.
he plays. I think he's probably a tier
20 at
5.
bats this year.
I was going to say, I think he's probably a tier 5. Oh, he didn't even show up in
Dang,
the
not yet.
gallery yet. But there we go.
Whoa,
Hey,
look at these rewards. Hold on a second. Not only are you
Yeah,
winning
quick,
dude.
quick
essence,
flex.
look at
Quick
these
flex.
rewards, sir.
Yeah,
Look at you.
yeah.
Curtis
Harrison
Mead's
Bader,
instant buy.
so Harrison Bader I crafted
Oh, okay.
Okay.
from buying a couple of these cards down here. Flaherty,
Jeez.
Flaherty is a tier 3. That blows my mind. Salvador Perez, tier 3. Byron Buxton, tier 3. Tier
Wow.
Wow.
3. Byron Buxton, Jack Flaherty,
Sure.
Harrison Bader was good for a bit.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't know what happened. We don't need to talk about it. But look at that. Against the
wow.
White
Like
Sox.
Harrison Bader's like I feel like a lost Paul brother. He just kind of he's got that look about him.
A lost
Uh-oh.
call.
Curtis Mead's yet disappeared. He's gone and disappeared. Well, if any sort of consolation, throw him in the vault. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to just fill this thing up. Buy like dollar cards. Buy like $30 cards. $31 cards and fill up my vault.
We
But
will
hey,
have to do a deep dive on that. I think
yeah,
because
we will see. We will see. But for now, I don't have the capital for that. Curtis Mead, welcome to the team. Welcome to the
I don't know,
Sure.
I
team.
see your 44 cents. That's enough to send somebody an offer on their lowest listed card. I think you could
Yeah.
get
On
a
their
card for
Curtis
that.
Mead.
Probably could get another Curtis Mead. There you go.
So did they? Let's see. You guys keep going. You guys keep going. I gotta do a little research now.
No, I mean, Jake, until you got the second, I was feeling pretty dang
He
good
was born
about
in
my
Adelaide. How about that? He
wow.
was born in Adelaide. I had no idea that he was from Australia.
Yeah, that's news to me.
I was
Or
feeling
you.
solid about my eighth place finish, which I still think is pretty good, the grand scheme of things.
Kid is made. Sorry, I had to.
I got a Tyler Glass now out of it, which is a Cy Young probably could be
Sure.
definitely up there. But I feel like I felt good about it, but I've been winning enough energy to consistently enter a full classic lineup, probably like every other game week, or maybe now it's at to the point where I earn between 125 and 150 per game week. So I feel confident enough that I can just enter the next game week if I do well. So I'm loving this energy dynamic. My rewards have not been as good as Jacob's, certainly. After seeing those four shiny new cards in your gallery, um, and honestly, I've been struggling on the essence side of things, especially if you don't win a card. The essence has been really hard to scrape by. It feels like I'm just like scraping the bottom of a barrel trying to get as many morsels of essence out of it that I can. But it's a grind, I guess. But I would say so far, it's been okay so far.
Okay.
Josh, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I agree. I still don't know exactly how I want to go about this year with baseball. I still don't have any new season cards, if I'm being
Oh,
honest. But
boo.
my one gripe with that, and I guess I get it from SoRare's perspective, right? Like in order to maintain the game, you have to sell cards. That's kind of part of the equation. But I don't know if I love the idea of investing X amount of dollars into new teams every year. Um, I always liked Silver because of the utility aspect of cards year after year. So it didn't feel like you were just spending your money and then that card became useless after a while. I'm not saying they're useless now, but Challenger is not easy, and you're not most likely not going to win a ton of card rewards in Challenger. Um, so you kind of have to get new season cards or be okay using energy, which is a different route you can go. Um, but it's kind of hard to get over the hump, like buying new cards right now, and then by the end of the year, they're probably not going to be worth anything. Not anything, but less than they were when you bought them. And they definitely have a little less utility going into next year. So I'm curious what that looks like year over year over year. And I'm not exactly sure how I want to go forward yet. So I'm curious what how your guys' perspective will influence mine.
Well, I went ahead right away at the beginning of the season. And I mean, you can go out. It's either a regular video or no, it's a regular video on YouTube. And I spent $37 on an all-star team. And it just so happened that Eugenio Suarez decided to become one of the leaders in home runs this year.
So good.
So that did help me win some essence used towards crafting that Harrison Bader and stuff like that. But you can't always count on winning someone like Fernando Tatis in an entire season. Sometimes it is about winning those little rewards that build up over and over and over. Um, but I did go ahead then after spending that $37 on that limited team and bought myself a Pete Alonso as well with market credit. I'd won some market credit. So that ended up costing me an extra little bit too. But I'd say for the season, putting in $50 for a season, if I sold my Fernando Tatis and the other cards I've won, I've already made that back from a pure financial standpoint. Now, I want to go ahead and try and use that Fernando Tatis. Maybe this is greedy, um, but use them in champion. I can now build a champion lineup and try and win some like actual cash there too. So, I if you wanted to do that sort of thing, like what's the difference between and sure this is supposed to be you could argue that this is how SoRare was supposed to be is it was supposed to be the difference between this and just putting down $50 on a parlay.
Hmm.
But instead of parlaying five different teams to win on the same day, you're going to try and parlay four limited cards using that money you put in so they can hit on a week to week basis, essentially. So, in that regard, I would say don't bet on your next UFC fight. Put some money into SoRare.
And
Sure.
I it is you're right. Your thought process is right in terms of at the end of the season, like the way I'm thinking about it, my cards are going to zero. If I get any
Hmm.
utility out of it next year, that's a bonus. That's like it's like if you want to put it in draft K parlance, it's a bonus bet, baby. But essentially, like my pot is going down to zero at the end of the season. And that is it's a slight difference in how you were approaching it before this, and because you knew when you bought your Trevor Story a couple years ago, Trevor Story's not going to play forever. He's going to play maybe 5 years from when you bought him, but eventually he'll retire, and that card will be worth nothing. It's changed that you now know that the expiration date of the card is kind of a year or a full season. And I think the way, if you want to think about it, like, you know, add up all of the buys you've made and think about the rewards you've won and say, is this greater than what I put into it? If you want to think about it like that, that's one way to do it. You can also think about it like it's fun, it's your hobby. Did I get $50 worth of enjoyment out of this? Is this like seeing two movies for me? That's a question you ask yourself. But I'm approaching it like Jacob, where I know how much I spent on my cards, and I hope to get that back at the end of the season, either with rewards or winning cards or cash. And yeah, so for me, I know the amount, and that's kind of the goal for the year. And I'm curious to see if I can do it. But yeah, that's how I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, and I think like all of us are definitely willing to do that. Sometimes I try and think about that perspective from someone who's new to So Rare. Like okay, I've been playing for a little bit. I've been doing common. I haven't spent any money yet. I'm ready to make my initial 50 or $100 investment into limited. And then you build your team. Like, is it going to turn you off that come next March, you're looking at those cards going, those cards aren't really worth, I can't resell them really because the price went way down. I can use them in Challenger, but Challenger I have to get top 30 or 40 to win a card. Um, and I'm not winning any
Which I've done
money.
twice, which is just
That is
you
pretty
can say that's
insane.
lucky, yeah.
That is insane. Um, so I'm curious if that will turn people off because SoRare was kind of built on, like you said, like utility year over year. At least that's part of what the initial difference maker was for some people. I'm guessing it's kind of what was for me. So I'll be curious if we see people frustrated by that concept where their cards aren't going to be as usable or worth as much come next year and the year after that and the year after that and so on and so on.
I think yeah, it obviously if they spent $500 on that card,
Well, right.
it's going to be really hard to get probably that back. They'd have to podium like a couple times. So yeah, but you're right. Like if and you see this on Twitter, on Discord, folks that bought silver cards are continuously uh questioning or don't understand why their cards keep losing value, quote unquote. But again, like I don't know if Sora needs to be explicit and just say like, hey, like you're buying this for the season, and like if you get anything out of it after that, that's like gravy. Um, and like would that help? Like would saying the quiet part out loud be what's needed? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's like I get making the initial investment. I think we throw out numbers like Jacob, $50, let's say, or 37, whatever it was, and then you include the Pete. And we've done teams where you build it for like $100 or less. But you look at those top like couple of players, limited players, are selling for over $100, just one card. Like why outside of collectivity standpoint and that they're good players, so you get them for this year, like what would drive me to buy an Otani right now, knowing that that card probably isn't going to be worth half of what I paid for it come next spring, outside of getting to use them for this year.
Well, that's the point.
But
It's
then you're
fantasy
assuming
sports. You got to
you're
hope
right.
and try and win this year. If you're buying that
Right.
Otani, he's the number one player in baseball. Maybe not in this exact moment, in this day,
Right.
Sure.
but throughout the season, he's the number one player in baseball. And you're hoping that that 150 bucks, 130 bucks that you spend on a limited Otani, you're going to win more than that in champion. If you're buying a limited Otani, you're not playing a limited Otani in Challenger,
Right.
unless it's from
Right.
last year or a year before. You're not playing it in All Star, I would argue, unless you're a whale. And you're going to play it in Champion to try and win some cash. And hopefully, along with that Otani, you've probably paired it with, if you're spending this much already, you've probably paired it with another, let's say $70 worth of player to bring it right up to a $200 team.
Yep.
With a $200 team, with an Otani captaining it, who's to say you couldn't win $200 back? So that's just, it's kind of like a risk reward factor that you got to
Hmm.
go ahead and use, that you got to go ahead and decide where you want to put your money. And this is like, obviously, yes, we're affiliated with SoRare. We tell you the advertisement every week. Click the link in the description. But also, spend your money where you want to.
Right.
Spend
Right.
the money that you have, not that you want to spend. Or not, sorry. Spend the money that you want to spend, not that you need to spend on other things. If you have a
I
little bit
think
extra cash sitting around and you're like, hey, I want to bolster my SoRare team, absolutely. If you have a little cash sitting around and you're like, I could go for some Swedish fish, then go to the grocery store and get some Swedish fish.
And
But
and
use
the
the
other
affiliate
important
link if you
thing,
are buying an Otani.
absolutely. Star cards do retain more value than the
Sure,
average card. So let's say that
sure.
150 Otani, I don't know exactly what his classic is selling for, but I don't it's not zero. It's probably $80, maybe half of the new season card. So it's not like you're losing the full value when you buy a star. So that does, I think, justify some of the current elevated prices for a Tatis, for an Otani, in that if you're building a challenger lineup, if you want to energize a card in the future, you're going to want to energize a Tatis, an Otani. You're not going to want to energize a Trevor Story. Sorry, bud. Even though I kind of do, this idiot does. If I had real money, then I could do that. But yeah, when you're all cards obviously lose value, but star cards don't. They retain more value over time because Otani, hopefully for the next 8 to 10 years, will be one of the best players in baseball.
Right. So I guess that brings up an interesting strategy, right? Like I know we're straying a little bit from just talking about, but it all plays into how kind of SoRare is going up until this point. Um, why not buy an Otani from last year? I just looked, he's selling for $119, his last year's card. His buy now is
Well,
230 right now. So
Okay.
right
okay.
around
Two
half.
thirty, not 130. Okay, I
Uh,
knew it was something 30, but it's
Yeah, so right,
230.
so it's pretty close to 50% off, basically. Why not just buy that Otani from last year, use your 25 energy on him, and then invest your 50 other dollars into new season cards? You still get your Otani in that champion lineup, just use the energy for it, and then you're saving $100 on him on top of that. So it's definitely a strategy to use for some of those more star players. And you
oh,
figure
oh,
year over year, right? Like as soon as that card becomes not a new season card, it doesn't matter if it's 5 years old or 1 year old, it's not a new season card. His Angels card is selling for the same price as his last year's Dodgers card. If
hmm.
you were an Angels fan, you might want the Angels card, but outside of that, it doesn't hold more value, whether it's a couple years old or not. So I think you probably would lose less on your initial investment in that Otani or other star player cards. Um, if you're buying an old season card and it's just going to stay as an old season card.
Sure. The one thing I think that a lot of people are overlooking right now are the market credits that they're winning. So that $230 that for the new season card, I've won, $50 in market credit. And I feel like I haven't even done that well. I mean, I'm a bit of a whale, but
Finishes eighth.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's no
Eighth in
second place though.
challenger. It's not champion. Let's be real. But like the if if you're not going out and buying in-season cards with your market credit, I think you're playing the game wrong. So if you are a new player, if you are building your gallery, Josh, I think you're in a perfect situation. Don't go and buy all of your in-season cards right away, or don't buy three lineups worth, certainly right away. Uh, but build one and then strengthen that over time, or develop a second one through market credit. Uh, and I think that's why Otani's for selling for 230, because in reality, a lot of people are paying maybe 150 if they have $80 worth of market credit.
What, real quick, would you recommend people use all of their market credit on one player,
Mhm.
or would you spread it out? Let's say you have, let's say, I'll just use myself as an example. I have $50 in market credit right now. Would you use that and buy a card that's $100 and get it for 50? Or would you spread that out over five cards and get $5 or $10 off of each card, if that makes sense?
Hmm.
I'm gonna admit to
Seems good.
something. I don't know if you guys are gonna judge me for it.
I'm
If
gonna
this is
judge you.
bad, so might judge me for this one. I've used my $50 off on a $100 card because it's probably a really good one. And then I've
Sold it
sold
for
that
more.
card for 75, $80. And I pocket $30.
It's free money.
But hear me out. You won the market credit. It's your reward. You do with
Sure.
it what you want to, just like you do with your money what you want to. If you were able to buy a card like on a low end of the market, if you were to snipe like Soto right now, his buy now is 77.41. But there was an auction just 21 hours ago that auctioned for 49.53. With
Wow.
market credit, you could have got yourself a Juan Soto for
20,
25
it's
bucks.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you definitely could have resold that for more than 25. So
Absolutely.
it's your reward. You absolutely deserve to resell it for more. And there's definitely someone out there that's going to be willing to pay for it for especially at the beginning of the season too.
Hmm.
For more than what its buy now is going for more than what its traditional auction's going for. I would also lean towards purchasing if you have the capital to go for one card. Now, if you're trying to buy an all-star team and you have zero new
Right.
season cards, maybe then you want to spread it around for four like tier one players instead of one star tier player. But if you already have a team and you're looking for an improvement, I wouldn't nitpick and slowly improve position by
Yeah.
position. I'd go right ahead and go for that star tier player.
Yeah. And I will
Yeah.
say the strat I outlined probably makes sense later in the season because, I probably would be better off with Juan Soto in my gallery, in my lineup, than I would be with the 25, $30 I want. Like I think Juan Soto could win me more than $30 than if I quickly flipped him. Maybe later in the season that math changes, but I'd say right now, since it's 3 weeks in, that kind of quick flip, maybe don't do that. But
Yeah.
if you want to just get your $37 like Jacob, said, you could get that back with one market credit buy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
There's
Good,
some players I've been
good
looking at too.
advice. Good advice for
Need
sure.
to use that market credit. Yeah, need
Yeah,
to use that
use that
market
market
credit.
credit.
So, I guess we've covered rewards. We've covered now a little bit of market credit. We've covered how we feel about how games have been so far. How about energy? We haven't really
Mm.
talked about energy yet. How how do we feel? Are you able to use your out of season cards on a week to week basis and recoup a decent amount? Have you tried them out in a daily competition and energized them for a daily competition yet? Or have you just straight up used your cards in Challenger and built up some energy and are going to enter one week and slam that week with energized cards all over the place? How are you guys approaching it?
I
Ooh.
love energy. I love
Oh,
it.
he loves it.
Are you
Reject it.
energized? Are
Energy
you energized about energy?
Energy is the nacho cheese of SoRare. I want
Oh.
all of the energy. I will put it on every card I own. Even if it's
Ta.
even if it's in season. I'll energize an in-season card. I don't care. No, I love energy. I'm saying this obviously having won a decent amount of it in Challenger. I might not feel that way if I, wasn't winning energy, but I do love the mechanic of being able to use my classic cards, my old season cards in cash competitions. That's something I can't do in football, can't do in NBA. And I love that. I love that I can take my old Kyle Tucker, shout out the real MVP, and just go destroy, go win some cash, hopefully someday with that.
You gonna buy a Kyle
Yeah,
Tucker? He
I
popped up
should.
when I went
I
and
might.
checked the market. He popped up, and I was like,
I might.
ooh, I
I
could.
you
might.
should.
That's
You
like
should.
market credit could be used towards
MVP.
him. Cubs winning the division? Yes or no? Right now, Cubs winning the division?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, they look good. They took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers after getting swept in Tokyo. They're back. They came to
Yep.
LA and took 2 out of 3. I'm nervous about your Chicago Cubs. But yeah, I'm not nervous about energy at all. I've used it in all facets of the game. I've used it in Champion, I've used it in All-Star, and I've used it in Daily.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I there was one daily I played where I put in a solid Brewer stack and it was great. And I had my bullpen and I put in Trevor McGill and it was all good. And they gave up 0 runs until the ninth inning and then they lost. And my stack didn't do that well. And Trevor McGill got negative points. But hey, that's okay. We don't need to talk about that. Did the Brewers go ahead and win the game the next day? Come back? No, they didn't.
No.
But it's okay because I won some essence. I still won some essence after all of that. A little bit of
Wow.
essence in daily, just a little
There
bit,
we
but
go.
hey, was it worth the energy I used? I've yet to do that calculation. Like, how much energy do you need to use to win enough essence to make it worthwhile to use the energy on cards, rather than saving it? I don't know. I don't know. Haven't done the math yet, but yeah, I have had no problems acquiring it. Granted, yet again, I got 38th place and I got second place in Challenger. And you win a
Boom.
lot of energy for getting top 50, especially second place in Challenger. So I did bank up a little bit of extra there, but I've yet to because I bought a team right away. I've yet to fully energize like a full out of season team into a full or a new season competition. So I can see from like a Nosh perspective, where you don't own
Yeah.
any new season cards, how energy might get gobbled up a little quicker, like it's Thanksgiving, rather than just
Yep.
like a
Gobble
normal
gobble.
dinner, you know?
Facts.
Or maybe you haven't. Maybe you haven't struggled with energy. I don't know. Let's hear the Nosh perspective here.
Yeah.
The
Let's
one
Guys,
hear it.
without in-season
It
cards.
depends.
It
guys, I
depends.
am no, listen, I am stockpiling energy like it's going out of
Ooh.
style. I
Whoa.
haven't
It's
used
not though.
a lick of energy yet.
You. How much energy do you have? Like a
I
monster?
currently have 725 limited energy and
Wow.
500 rare energy.
Wow.
S- Holy.
So hear me out. I am going to start using it this week. I wanted
Okay.
to build a base,
Hmm.
right? So I didn't feel like I was constantly struggling for energy. And I'm going to do one limited and one rare lineup of full out of season cards in Champion using all energy.
I
And I'm gonna
love
do a
that.
little experiment. I'm gonna start looking at and buying some new season cards. I understand that's part of the game. That's how I want to be competitive. That's how I want to win and have fun at the same time. But I'm gonna do a little experiment. I want to see how it goes. I'm gonna do one of each game week for the next couple weeks, and I want to see how it goes. Do you think I'm gonna run out? Do you think I'm gonna be able to recoup it? Am I gonna win some rewards? Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I'm going to do my main two lineups in Champion, both full energy out of season cards.
Well, you're going to go through your energy like this. You can't win energy in champion. That's the
Yeah.
only thing.
Right,
So
right.
maybe
But
or you're just going to drain it.
I'm gonna set my other lineup so I should still be getting energy in. In an
Yeah.
Use
ideal
the
You're
oil,
world,
guaranteed
sperm
if you
oil.
set two if you set two challenger lineups, you're guaranteed 50 energy no
Hmm.
matter what, even if you
Yep.
let's
finish
just
last
say,
place in both.
for example, this game week, my teams did not do that great, and I'm getting 100 limited energy and 100 rare energy, which would be
Yep.
one short of recouping a full team.
Yep.
So I'm hoping it won't go
Or
down as
no.
quickly
Three
as
short.
Yeah.
Three short.
175. Yeah, right.
175.
Now, let me let me ask you this. you won 100 energy this past game week.
Yeah.
What about an all-star team where you can only use 4 limited cards, energize those non-energized cards, use 100, which you just won, and then you can use your 3 best common cards in that lineup too.
Sure. Would you say that's a
I
better
have
way to do it than champ?
I would say I have
No.
energized more cards in All-Star than in Champion.
Ooh,
But
okay.
keep in mind, I would not necessarily that's the strategy. That's just how I've gone about it. That's with Bader and Buxton and the cards I bought
Mhm.
and Tatis. So I have that champion lineup that's ready to go.
Right.
So that's why I'm like I can energize my Lindor from last season and my Churio from last season and throw
Yep.
those into All-Star. Save
Sure.
a little bit. I could enter 2 champion teams, one fully energized, one not, but I like the way that I have it set up so far. Like, so why not try an all-star team, Nash? Say your strategy doesn't work this week or next week. Maybe switch it up, try an all-star team. Or maybe you'll
All
just
Stars, a
win.
new
Maybe,
Sandlot.
yeah, maybe the new
Oh,
Sandlot.
wow.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'm
I
sorry.
love, what do you
All
mean? I've
Stars,
won
two
some,
thumbs
I have
down.
won 2 thumbs down.
Yep.
Holy.
Yep.
Wow. All right, let's hear it. There's cards to be had.
So I think it's a fine competition, but I actually haven't entered it this season, so I shouldn't say it's a fine competition. I don't. I've been challenger and champion. It's like I get use my best classic cards either in energized form for champion competitions, or I'm rocking them in challenger. All star, no. All old season all star was great. New season all star not so great. I don't know. The rewards are okay. Like the rewards feel just as good as Challenger, except I can win energy, not just cards. So maybe I'm overlooking it a bit, but I don't know. It feels a little Sandlot like to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
What are you talking about? You couldn't win cards in Sandlot.
You could win like $73.
That's what they gave away. You would win like
Oh,
15 for first place.
yep,
For first place in All-Star, you win a star tier card.
that
Uh
is pretty sweet.
All-Star for the top 125 positions, you do win a card. That's not Sandlot. It's not this year's Sandlot. In fact, Sandlot was a daily the other day, and it kind of brought back bad memories. I wouldn't say it's that equivalent. I would say there are good things to be had in All Star, and it's a good place to start out if you're not a whale. If you don't have a full team, if you want to build a cheap enough team, like the team that I built earlier on in the season, that won me a reward, I got a card for that. I got a top 125 finish and got a card for that. And I've also won some Essence too. You can maybe Essence is the problem. Maybe All Star isn't the problem. But
Mm.
I've had I've had an all right team playing All Star, and I think it's a good entry level competition for those who don't want to have to build a full team too. I wouldn't disregard it in that aspect either.
Sure, sure. I
I
like
think
But
that.
if
yeah,
I
you
like that.
I
It's a
were
I
good
got
point.
my I got my 2 rewards from Challenger, and I got my 1 reward from All Star, and I've got nothing from Champion so far.
I think if you were choosing between the three, right? Or like choosing like the order you set your lineups, I think for my situation, I think you're going either fully energized in a champion with a lineup, like your top lineup. Then from there, I think I would set a lineup in challenger. And then I would do leftovers. Or if you have a couple new season cards, but not enough for a full team, but they're not the quality you want in your champion lineup, that's where you throw them into that all-star lineup. I
That's
think that's kind of
exactly
how
how I
I
would
would
set
go
it.
about it. So
You nailed exactly how I set my lineups.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, if you're a new player and you don't have in-season cards or you don't have classic cards, you might only have in-season. I do agree, Jacob. I see the point about All-Star being a good entry point where if you just buy your first 3 cards or 4 cards, I believe, and then you rock 3 commons, that's a fine way to play. But if you're like Josh or if you have a lot of classic cards, I think that approach makes a lot of sense. If you're energizing not your best lineup, that's probably a mistake. unless you're really going for more energy. But at that point, just put that lineup in Challenger anyway. Uh, so if you're asking if your goal is cash or winning the most rewards, Champion's the way to go.
Hmm. Yeah.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
I
If you
like
can
it.
afford it. If you can afford it.
True.
What like I also want to see I want to see someone grind it out and win
Mm.
All-Star with out of season cards and like a common Otani, like a common 3-star tiers and like out of season for the rest. I want to see it happen. I bet it can happen. And that would be
Hmm.
cool. Like for someone who had played for last year, but like you said, someone who has all these out of season cards is already probably pretty familiar with SoRare. So it's not like they have this newbie barrier to entry when it comes to that regard. So maybe All Star wouldn't be the competition for them. But for someone who's just getting started with this season, purchasing 4 cards is a lot easier than purchasing 7 cards. Or
Sure.
energizing 4 cards is a lot easier than energizing 7 cards. So yeah, yeah, use your cards where you want. I'd say Nosh though, like I said, you nailed exactly how I set my lineups. I go champion with my top tier lineup. I have one champion lineup. I could throw a second energized one in there, and I actually have a few weeks. I have. And it's been okay. I've gotten some essence, nothing much great from it. Got some market credit, but no cash. But then I'll skip All Star, hop over All Star, go to the Challenger, set my top 2 Challenger lineups for my cards last season, and then go back up to All Star. If I want to energize a card or two, I'll throw them in there. If I still have like a little bit of a banger left over, maybe like Jonathan India, for example, in my team. Great player. He never makes the top 2
Nope.
for whatever reason. He's always beat out by Matt Chapman or I mean obviously like Jose Ramirez, but what for whatever
Right.
reason, I just don't throw an India in there. But this time, I'll throw him in like as an energized player in my All-Star lineup or in my challenge like something like that. But yeah, I also have like for example, Curtis Mead. He'll probably see his way into an all-star lineup eventually.
Or Volt him, Volt him.
Now I'm thinking
Well,
he might be an all-star player. I'd rather throw him in trying to win some essence than just
Not a literal all-star player, a perfect Sandlot all-star caliber player.
Sandlot. Boo.
Sandlot. You just love Sandlot. You
Mm-hmm.
you have a special beef with Sandlot.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah. Well, we should probably start
With
to wrap
Pickle.
things up over
Do
here.
it.
But Andrew, wait. You have some news for us before
Oh,
we wrap
that's right.
things up here on the podcast. Little bit of more so rare news for you guys here. Well, I don't
That's
know what
right.
it is. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm just gonna let Andrew
Yeah,
take over.
it's a
We
surprise.
we we talked briefly about it, but I've personally been disappointed with the amount of essence, particularly at a common level. Limited, we could talk probably up for a whole nother podcast about it. Common, you earn way too little in the competitions that, to be honest, it doesn't feel like worth my time setting my lineups, or it's not as rewarding or exciting to win. And couple that with daily claim, which is amazing, where you win 25 essence just by clicking a button every single day, which again, you sign into the app store, loves that, daily active users. I sent a DM to someone at SoRare asking if they would consider increasing the number of common essence rewarded in real competition, saying this is not enough, guys. We need to increase the reduce the parity. We need to reward more, get people excited about winning. I got a like on the message, so
Hey,
we
uh,
might we might be getting some movement here. I don't know
okay,
All
how
right.
how the
okay.
the powers that be, but it was received so rare. I love how open to feedback they are. The community is amazing. And I think if you have an idea about how to make the game better, let the people know. They love that. That's their job. They love collecting feedback. Just don't be an asshole about it. People on the
Exactly.
internet can
It's not
Yeah.
that
be
hard.
can be mean, but just send them a cordial DM saying, "Hey, I think the game could be better. This is what I think." And maybe they'll take it, run with it or shove it in the complaint file. Who knows?
i.e.
Well,
the
just
garbage
think
can.
about this. Just think about this. Winning more common essence, unlocking that common Otani, throwing him in
All
All
star.
Star,
Sandlot.
and winning a
A
top
real
10
Otani.
position.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true. A real Otani, number one, finish first.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if I had an Otani, a common Otani, he would be going into All Star every
Absolutely.
single week. All
Yep.
Star, not common, not daily. He'd be going into All Star.
I honestly have considered mortgaging all of my common cards, like just doing Monopoly style, converting it all of them into just essence and getting three really good common cards and
hmm
actually playing All Star because
hmm
in So Rare, where in other zig, you need to zag. So we all said All Star is the last competition. Maybe I'm coming full circle on this, guys. Maybe you make that your first competition because nobody else does. And that's the key to winning. Your best lineup against their worst lineup.
The strategies are coming out. They're coming out
I'm
now.
just
I
I'm just
like
I'm
it,
just throwing
but
stuff out.
yeah, I like the idea of selling all. If you don't want to play common, if you're not having fun, or if you're not winning enough rewards, sell all your common cards, get 3 star tier players, and enter them in All Star. I like it. I don't know if anyone's done that yet. Someone's probably thought about that yet. Maybe not. I
There,
like it though.
there might be a minimum number of common cards you need to have.
I'm sure
So
there
Yeah,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
but
Maybe
we'll
7.
see.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
try it.
yeah.
I'll be the first guy.
Do
I'll
it.
just
You don't play it, so why not?
no, I
Yeah.
do play it. I do. I'm just
All Star?
disappointed.
You say you haven't said an All Star lineup
No,
ever
no, no.
yet?
I play minors. I play minors, bro.
Oh, okay. Common,
Yeah, yeah,
common.
yeah. I miss minors.
hmm
It
Hmm?
is pretty wild. Pause. Okay. It is pretty wild though when you scroll through the ad tab of common cards. And like for example, this upcoming game week, Nick Lodolo is 460 common essence. Like where's that coming from?
It's related to the
It's
price of
tied
his
to the
card.
price. He must
Yeah.
have just.
Yeah, which is fine, but like why is it so high?
Sure, the multiple probably could be adjusted. I agree with that. We'll have that, maybe we'll have to have a separate podcast on that. But yeah, we're making the game one better, one episode at a time.
Absolutely. That's how we roll. All right, let's get it.
Pickle, pickle. It's got to be
Nick, okay. So rare.
Chris Mead.
So rare's Nash. You just found a glitch in So rare.
Let's go.
Nick
Let's go.
Lodolo, his instant buy for his rare card is $25. Okay? His instant buy for his
Yep,
rare card. Rare.
yep.
What do you think his instant buy for his limited card is?
More than that.
70.
$60.
92.21. So
Whoa.
his rare card in season is selling for 25 bucks and his in season limited card, 10 times the amount of mint, is selling for
Did
92.
someone buy one for
Someone
like
hit,
60 bucks?
What is
someone hit the
happening?
wrong button, I think.
Oh
Or
no.
Someone
we
hit
got
the
a we
wrong
got
button.
a laundering money
Instant
situation.
I
buy
was gonna
5 days
say
ago. Instant buy 5 days
exposed.
ago was $6.93.
Exposed.
So they might have
Exposed.
Bro,
added an extra period, an extra tens place in there. Nine
Josh, you got to
dollars would
buy it.
make sense, but
You got to buy it.
that's why he costs a lot.
That's
I
crazy.
had to look him up. I was like, there's no way he costs.
We
Yeah,
got We
that
got to do
makes
him for the pickle. Him and
sense.
Oh yeah,
It's
send
Nick
Mr. Me, send
Lodolo.
him for the pickle. All right,
It's
righty,
Curtis
righty,
Mead.
starting pitcher.
mm,
Okay, could be Zach Wheeler.
Corbin Burns.
Wheeler's a lefty
Wheeler's a
batter.
lefty batter.
Corbin Burns,
Could be
baby.
Corbin Burns.
Mm,
NL East.
Okay, so they've got to be
it's
what, 29 or
28 or
28?
29 or 28.
29-year-old from the NL East starting pitcher.
It's Zach Wheeler's best friend, Aaron Nola. Oh, he's
Too
31.
old. How old is
Mm,
Strider? Is Strider 28?
that sounds right.
26. How old is Schwellenbach or Schmith Shaver? One of the S ones. Yeah, I figured they'd be younger. Smith Shawver's probably like 23 too. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very
Dang.
young.
Okay. Maybe not the Braves. Maybe not the Braves.
Um,
Well, here, let's see if it's even the NL East.
it has
Or
to
It
it
be.
has to
has to
be.
be. It
It,
has
no,
to
no,
be.
no,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
It
Yeah,
has
yeah,
to
yeah.
be.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Marlin. It can't be Sandy.
Could it be?
Should we just
Yeah.
guess one of those guys and
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the team.
Okay.
get the Phillies out of the way?
Yeah.
Come
It's
on.
not the
I should know.
Phillies.
I should know these Marlins players. Cal Quantrill is who I just watched pitch the other day for the
Mm.
Marlins. He's a lefty
Lefty from
batter. He's from
He's
Canada.
Canada.
Canadian. He's Canada.
Wow. All right.
There's your
San
Canada.
boy Yuri Perez is still hurt. There's Edward Cabrera. There's
Not USA. Not USA. There's the
on the
Mets too,
Nationals.
or the Nationals. The Nationals. Oh, Trevor
Mackenzie Gore's a
Williams.
lefty. Oh, he's
Oh,
not
Mackenzie
too.
Gore.
Mackenzie Gore's a lefty,
Mackenzie
Mm.
Gore.
isn't he? Maybe not.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get this
Starting
team. We
pitcher
gotta
is
get the
tough.
team.
Let's go Williams. Let's get the Nats
Yeah.
out of the way.
The Nats might
Okay.
be.
Ooh.
It's the
Oh, we're in
Nationals.
trouble. Oh, we're in trouble. Oh,
The
what's the
Nationals don't
Nats?
exist.
The Nats starting rotation. We might have
Couldn't
to
tell
take
you.
an L on this one.
I was gonna say Trevor Williams is all I got, man. That's the only stuff.
There's and Mackenzie Gore,
Yeah.
and there's
Mackenzie Gore's a lefty. We know that.
he's
Uh-huh.
a lefty. Yes,
Yeah.
that's all I
Dang it.
got. That's all I
Oh
got.
man, the
We hadn't made
Nationals
it. We hadn't
rotation.
made it to this division yet in
Wait,
our
I'm
in our team
wait. Let me see
paying
if
no
my
attention
projections.
to my
SoRare
hat.
gallery is he in my SoRare gallery? Let's see. We need current club, Nationals. Okay, I
Oh
have one
man.
active Nationals player, CJ Abrams. That is not it.
Oh, he's
That
not
is
active.
not it.
He just went on the injured list,
He did.
unfortunately.
Oh, oh
RIP.
no.
Yeah, I only have good players, so I don't have any
Guys, this is an
Nationals.
L. This is an L.
I think we give up.
It'd be a podcast first, I think.
Josh, this is on you, man. You're wearing the hat.
I know.
And
I
the
You are
jinxed
jinxing it
it.
wearing the
off.
hat.
I jinxed it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna see it and we're gonna be like, oh, we should have known that.
Just
Like,
give
who
up.
got banished to the Nationals in a trade recently?
Like, I can't even.
I
I'm
can't even
sorry,
name it.
Nationals. I'm
I
sorry. I
couldn't even
can't
name
think of
another
anyone.
nat.
Yeah.
Trevor Williams,
I couldn't even name
Mackenzie
another
Gore.
Nationals pitcher.
Well, here, we
Guys,
can just ask
it's
we can
Jake
ask
Irvin.
Jake Irvin,
How'd you do that?
internet. There we go.
Jake Irvin.
Jake
Was
Irvin.
Jake Irvin in any of your books?
Nope. I
Jake
apologize.
Irvin is
He has his,
oh
his
no
name
with a
kind of sounds like mine
5.63
too.
ERA.
7 strikeouts?
5.63. You can buy him now in SoRare for 18.
Oh, he's
Just kidding.
from the where the Mall of America is.
$2.84.
Oh, Bloomington.
Bloomington, Minnesota. Beautiful Bloomington,
Wow.
Minnesota.
You can buy his rookie card from 2 years ago for 81 cents.
That is
Steal.
actually a good vault card,
That
low
is a good
key,
vault card.
because you can get that. I might snag his rookie.
40
So you
cent
get
market credit, baby.
well, you can't use market credit on past season cards.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
There we go.
Wow.
What a
Well, there you
banger.
have it. There you have it. Let us know how you guys are doing with the start of the new season in SoRare MLB. Um, it's been going pretty good, I'd say. It's good.
It sounds
It's
like,
not
yeah,
perfect, but
it
it's
sounds like
good.
we have our complaints, but it also sounds like we're all having a good time playing
Yeah.
some fantasy baseball, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, don't forget to go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go check out our other social medias as well. And until next week, you just attended batting practice. Now you ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace.